I'll tell you, I am so proud of my fellow van lifers, van dwellers, nomads, whatever you want to call them. I am so proud of you all that are out there. So if you're just sitting in your lazy boy chair watching TV and you're worried about your rent, I'm telling you, come on out. Get your vans, get them ready, start getting ready. Maybe by next year, come on out. There's a community going on.
I'm 66 years old, disabled, widowed, no family. I found out this morning that in less than a week, I'm going to be homeless. I have no one to help me. FEMA won't even help. They took me to court and evicted me this morning. I have a car. It's not in the best shape, but I don't want to live in my car. I'm scheduled to have 2 surgeries next week. Now I can't have that done. Please, please help me.
But get ready, because you just never know what's coming down the pipe. Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm in a good mood. Okay, I have a follow-up of the South Carolina gal. I'm going to call her the Carolina gal because we'll have a lot more updates on her. But I do have an update that I found on her. So let's go ahead and watch this.
Hi, everyone. This is Deborah, Cat Mommy 2. And so many beautiful people watched my video from yesterday. And the outpouring of love and support that I've received is so amazing. I can't tell you how much I really truly appreciate each and every one of you. It's been so overwhelming that I'm having a hard time trying to keep up or even realizing what I need to say to update. I'm working with a few people, and I appreciate your support more than you can imagine. God is good, and I know I'll be okay, and I'm just really thankful, tenfold over. God bless, and I will update you again soon. Thank you.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm really happy for her. Her name is Deborah. And yeah, okay. So it looks like, I'm going to guess that she now has, there was an outpouring, and she now has some cash. And probably enough that she can now make a good move. Okay, now she's going to have to leave within a week. Now, I did get, the comments were so interesting. And I will mention that anybody who, I could tell who's watched me before and who was a totally new person. More and more homeless people here in Tucson. And honestly, some of them are pretty darn cool. There's like 3 different groups of homeless people in Tucson, okay? Now, you've got the normal, they're just trying to make ends meet. They're normal. And they just had a run of bad luck. Some of them just recently, some of them maybe just in the past month or so. And a couple of them are in beat up cars. And so, like Deborah said, she doesn't run that well. There's a lot of people, I've got some letters I'm going to read you, a lot of people that have to go into their cars, whether they're beat up or not beat up, right? Because that's what happens. They don't have a TikTok, and somebody didn't see it, which is one of the reasons I mentioned, I did mention on my video, if you haven't seen it, go see it yesterday. Go see it, whichever direction it is. Go see it. And it was informative, and it was about seniors. But one thing that I did mention about her is that she did have a vehicle. And I mentioned that, well, I guess, and look at the help that she got. So that only confirms it, everybody, that if you can get on TikTok, tell your story, few tears don't hurt, and, maybe we all can find out who that we can help. Like I said, there's a lot of seniors. My best friend, Max, he saw it, and he told me that in Quartzsite, there's this fella that parks in town, certain place every day, and he's in a wheelchair. He looks pretty bad. It's a beat up car. But there are people out here who are disabled and they're living in their vehicles, okay? So if worst comes to worst, you got your vehicle. If you got a vehicle, you've got a home. That's your backup, okay? And if you don't have a TikTok, that's your backup, okay? So there you go. So let me go with just a few of these letters because they're just pretty darn good. This is from Kelly Wide. Here's a video topically, yes. What to do when you need surgery, but you live in a vehicle. Well, I'll tell you, 6 years ago, maybe 6.5 years ago, I just left Quartzsite and for my first time, and I went to Lake Havasu, and I ended up running in the middle of the night to the ER. As it found out, hours later, I was laying there in pain. I had appendicitis. Well, guess what? I had surgery. Yes, I did. It was in the hospital for 2 days. They wouldn't release me till made sure all the anesthesia was gone. They knew I was in a vehicle living in my minivan. And I found out some BLM land, and I went and pulled there, and I recovered. Oh yeah, I mean, appendicitis is major surgery. It can be done. That's what we do. We're like, we're nomads are he people, he-man. I'm a She-Ra, he-man. Remember he-man and She-Ra? My son had all of that. Yes. I forget what the evil person was, but he had a lot of the characters. Oh my gosh, yeah. He-Man and She-Ra. Okay, so going on to another friend of mine, Max. Last year he had a pacemaker put in. He lives in a minivan. And he's 77. That's one of the reasons why you may have sensed from yesterday's video that I was like, huh? Because I've got friends. We are strong. We can't just go cry somewhere and somebody's going to help us. We have to figure these things out. And it's a shame. She needs to learn about this. Somebody needs to tell her about this because you never know down the pike. She may need this information later. So, yeah, he had a pacemaker put in. Now, he had a couple friends that kind of watched over him for a couple days. But, yeah. Okay, just recently, one of my friends living in a minivan came up with he was trying to help somebody. And he's in his 70s, and he got a small hernia. Guess what? He has to go into surgery pretty soon. And he's going to survive it. Living in a minivan. If you've got a story where you have to survive even living in a car, I want to hear about it. And I'll put it out, I won't, if you don't want me to use your name or whatever, just let me know. But yeah, come on, people. Here's one from Wendy Wright. My husband died in June and I am struggling to find a place to live. See, here you go. I've rented from the same people 20 years. I think she means, and my husband was the painter, and I'm still being hassled. And I've had my rent raised $150, the most I've ever had it raised, because of the voucher programs running up and asking prices in my area. It's ridiculous. Yes, it is. I hope she's able to find a place. If I was closer, I would tell her to come here, but Chicago isn't the ideal place. Yeah. No. Okay, and here's one from Carol Campbell. It's time to be proactive. That was the premise of my video from yesterday. It's time to be proactive. You can't wait. That's why I say, share my videos. Share them with friends and family if they don't get shared. Google or YouTube isn't doing it, obviously. So share it with other people and tell them to share it. because I have I truly believe that I have top-notch videos on how to live this lifestyle and to get a proper attitude for this lifestyle, because that's really important. She said, I saw this coming and moved into a van years ago. Me too. I saw it coming too. We need to learn to be less spoiled. Yes, we do. I mean, look at all the people. Look at the covered wagons that came over. They weren't spoiled. Look at the people from the Depression. They weren't spoiled. Look at the Dust Bowl. Remember the Dust Bowl? Oh my gosh. I mean, they were not spoiled. They had to make really quick, major decisions on their lives. And they had to risk and they had to be brave. And we're talking about, like, even in the Civil War. You know, something that made me think about, North Carolina and South Carolina, especially North Carolina and Shawanoa and Asheville and Black Mountain, those areas, which, by the way, are in 1 second after. It was shocking when I heard that was the area that had really been devastated. Oh my gosh. So, it reminded me of, like, remember how devastated and ripped up and destroyed the South was? Remember that? Especially Sherman going through and with his destruction. Well, after the Civil War, I mean, we're talking about major destruction. Well, and then all the people coming in wanting to, the carpetbaggers and everything. Yeah, the same thing I think is happening in North Carolina. And it reminds me of that in many respects. And she says, we need to learn to be less spoiled, learn priorities. I have everything I need and nothing I don't. I stopped getting manicures, $100 color and cuts, buying fancy clothes, and I love the freedom it brings. But, let's see. Okay, sorry about that. But my fear now is that the lawmakers are changing regulations. I want to talk about this. To end this lifestyle. There's no way they can. 8 states currently are outlawing manufacturing and registering RVs. Well, many other states, it's kind of noisy. It's Friday, right now. And people are on the move. And it's getting towards Christmas, so there's a lot of hubbub going on. Remember, I haven't said that in a long time. There's a hubbub. What's the hubbub? Remember that? Hubbub. Okay, so go out and say it. You can steal it. Hey, what's the hubbub? Many other states have outlawed sleeping in a vehicle. Insurance companies are not insuring vans unless they are the 150K kind, yet insurance is requiring legally. How about some civil rights for the homeless? There's millions of us out here. Well, she mentions our upcoming president, and she says, why don't you do something about it? Well, he's not there yet. There's millions of us out here, and most are women. Exactly. Okay. Now, I want to mention about this outlawing living in your car. If you don't know, I'm Minivan Lee, and I live in my minivan, and I have for 8 years. Let me just mention that. So I've got it down pat. I still can't afford rent, okay? But I learned how to do this, and I did prepare for it. I didn't sit and think, oh no, what am I going to do for my rent? Well, I got busy. With it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a smart cookie, and I used my noggin. I'm kind of a survivor. Offshoot. Somebody mentioned on the video, well, it doesn't look like you're doing so bad. You're wearing your wedding ring. Where's your husband? Are you kidding me? Well, you don't know my story. Some people don't know my story. My husband passed away years ago in a car accident. And believe me, drunk driver hit him. And it was a fatal accident. And I have 4 children. I'm strong. And I don't just go, I had not only to take care of myself, I had to take care of 4 children. With that said, okay, so I'm on a roll today. But yeah, I don't care. Well, I had to read quite a few of really, I can't believe people say stuff like that on armchair warriors there. So yeah. You have to use your noggin, and you can't put your head in the sand. It's no longer you can just scream and cry and people are going to come to your rescue. You've got to figure this out. I know there's weak ones and there's strong ones. I'm glad I'm one of the strong ones. Most of my friends, people that are with me, are strong. And I do not have anything on my roof except a solar panel that nobody can see. I'm not dragging anything behind me, so guess what? I get to nestle in with the locals. I call it urban nestling. And I nestle in. And I sleep in residential areas on the street. Nobody knows I'm in there. People say, oh, they know. They don't know. They don't know. I'm very stealthy. You got to be very stealthy. You can't pull up with a great big Mercedes Sprinter, right? And have solar up there and just park on the streets. You might get a knock. And you can't pull up with this big trailer behind you, and you can't pull up with an old beat up car. You need to take care, at least have it clean. Make sure it's clean. Maybe if you have extra money, go have it painted, just so you can be more stealthy, okay? So there's the real trick. So they can outlaw it all they want, but I don't think that there's enough police to go around knocking on everybody's door that's parked on a street, okay? Now, here's one from Ron Seitz. Okay, listen to this one. The government is not for the American people. I've been homeless for 4 years. I get no help from government. I'm a 64-year-old male living on Social Security, living in a van that doesn't run. I'm in the woods, no electric. I cook with Coleman stove and heat with propane, and I have stage 3 COPD. He's disabled. That's what I was talking about in yesterday's video. This is an example. He's disabled. So, I'm saying get yourself a TikTok account. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. There's another one I wanted to get. Oh, here's one. I will point out, here's from KM. She says, I will point out you're homeless in Arizona. She's newly homeless in North Carolina, where the hurricane hit. It's actually much colder there. I did think you had some good points, though. Okay, KM. I don't know if you know it or not, but it can get down to, in the winter, 25 degrees in Arizona. It's just a matter of getting prepared. It's cold in here. But I got me blankets that I cover up with, and I've got a sleeping bag that anybody can get. Bob Locke. Hey, Bob. Bob, I know you're watching. He's in upstate New York, if I'm correct. Yeah, he lives in his van. He has for years. So, and another thing too is that usually if you're going to become, I would suggest that if she did want to get in her car, throw her cats in there, take what she can, make sure she doesn't bring the black mold with her, okay? And I hope she doesn't take it wherever she goes. But get to Arizona. I'll tell you, I am so proud of my fellow van lifers, van dwellers, nomads, whatever you want to call them. I am so proud of you all that are out there. And I'm so, so proud and grateful for all of you who are getting ready. I tell people, get ready, because you just never know what's coming down the pike. Excuse me. I don't have coffee. I drank too much coffee this morning. I was at the park at the crack of dawn out there in a Ramada. It was just barely starting to turn light. And I was out there by myself. I'm brave. I'm courageous, and you learn that as you go, okay? We are strong. I don't mind. I was out there alone. I was the only one parked in the parking lot and walking back and forth to get my stuff. I mean, I was alert. I had my personal alarm, and I had my bear spray. But I will tell you, you can't just use bear spray on somebody. I mean, maybe spray it there so to keep them away from coming towards you, but to spray it right at somebody, that's considered a weapon to harm somebody. And you could be arrested for it until they can find out who was in the wrong. Okay, so don't just use your bear spray. But it's there. It might be a deterrent. Yeah. And I can use it for dogs too, like if there's a pit bull charging at me. Yeah. Or a bear. Or a bear. There might be a bear walking up. Okay, so if you're just sitting in your lazy boy chair watching TV and you're worried about your rent, I'm telling you, come on out. Get your vans, get them ready, start getting them ready. Maybe by next year, come on out. There's a community going on. And I am going to mention, this was my last. I don't know. I've talked to my friends. I sense there is something coming down the pike. I know a lot of people think, ooh, this new administration is going to save us. Well, I think he's going to try, but I don't know if it's going to succeed. And I do think that there is some trouble coming up ahead. And next week, I will be talking about some issues, some important issues, and bring you up to speed on what could be happening and some of the things going on and some of my feelings about that. Okay, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. It's a long one today, but thank you for watching and spending some time with me. I love you. I love you guys. So please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you do want to help me, I mean, I don't make a lot either. You don't have to. You don't have to. But go to minivanlee.com and click on gifts. And I get 100% of everything there. Because it's my website. And it's totally secure. It's just like buying something on Amazon or something like that. I mean, it's totally secure. So, and then I've got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way. If you want to get ready and you think you need that, go on Amazon and type in Minivan Lee. That book is going to get you from A to Z and in your van with all the things you're going to need. All the things that you need to think about. Okay? Okay, everybody. Till tomorrow. Okay.